The Week 5 win for the Raiders in Kansas City, the only loss on the Chiefs' docket this year.
The desperate foe in the Raiders, who are sick of being dominated by the Chiefs. Touchdown! Patrick Mahomes on 2 rolls of the dice. The Chiefs roll 7.
That's big time, boy.
I'll lay my money down.
Carr fires deep right side.
Heck yeah!
And Carr with a perfect toss. That's a way to do it.
Mahomes fires, and it's caught. Touchdown!
Carr's going to throw. Vegas touchdown.
Play my aces.
Yeah, baby.
Lay my cards on the table.
Carr's going for the home run. It's Ruggs. Raiders beat the Chiefs 40-32. Jackpot, baby.
Yes, and our floor man for this game is Omar Ruiz. Take it away, Omar.
Hi, Rich. In that win, the Raiders proved how explosive their offense can be, beating the Chiefs at their own game. As Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo described it, about 214 of the Raiders' 490 yards that day came on just 9 plays. He said Derek Carr was one step ahead of him all game long. Linebacker Anthony Hitchens told me he takes some responsibility for that, too, and has been given the green light to check the Chiefs defense out of plays that could help keep the Raiders receivers from getting behind the Chiefs defense, because as Tyrann Mathieu described Henry Ruggs' speed, if he's even, he's leaving. That said, Michael Irvin, can the Raiders offense keep up again with the Chiefs offense tonight?
Man, you're talking about the Raiders offense, and I think it drops down to one person in that offense. If you did a silhouette where we put those numbers up, and then we have a silhouette and said which quarterback is which out of these games, it looked like Derek Carr's numbers was Patrick Mahomes' numbers, and Patrick Mahomes' numbers belong to Derek Carr. So Derek Carr out Patrick Mahomes last time. You heard about that bus ride around the stadium. Trust me, this will not happen again where Derek Carr will out Patrick Mahomes. Derek Carr had 126 passer rating. Patrick Mahomes had an 84 passer rating. Expect those to flip. Now, let's flip this camera out to Indiana with Stacey Dales.
Well, Irv, bring your lunch pails today because we're in store for a good one. The #1 total defense with the Colts against the #6 total offense with the Packers, and a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers who happens to lead the NFL with a roughly 116 passer rating. Rodgers said of this Colts defense this week, they are a great vision defense. Great vision of the quarterback. They play with good timing. They make you earn it, and they make you go the distance. His head coach, Matt LaFleur, said we must, critical, vital to have positive plays, no wasted time, no hesitation, maximize every single play, get as many yards as you can because they're hard to come by. I expect this Packers offense to attack. And as for the Colts defensively, Justin Houston, Mooch, said the biggest challenge with Aaron Rodgers is staying disciplined. He is truly a coach out there on the field. For more on the matchup, Mooch, I pass it to you.
Yeah, stay disciplined. Against Aaron Rodgers, he's the leading passer-rated quarterback in the league and against the #1 defense. But that Colts defense is good against the run. They're good against the pass. They're good at scoring defense. Top 4 in all of those. So they're going to slow down these Packers. It's just going to be what kind of game that this ends up. It will not be a high-scoring game. I like the personnel on this Colts defense. Man, what a trade. DeForest Buckner was a huge get. He's got 16 hits on the quarterbacks. And Darius Leonard is certainly one of the best linebackers in this National Football League. The thing I'm going to watch, Xavier Rhodes. He played against Devontae Adams many times when he was with the Vikings against the Packers. See if he travels with them. It's going to be a heck of a game today against 2 real good football teams. And now let me send it over to Cynthia Freeland for Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS.
Well, the Colts may have the #1 passer-rated defense, but look at all of the areas that the Steelers defense ranks first in. Pressure percentage, sack percentage, and completion over expected. This is like a golf score. The more negative, the better. Their high-risk, high-reward defense is really paying off. So let's ask Kurt Warner what he expects to see today from them. Kurt?
Well, Cynthia, one of our former game day teammates in Warren Sapp used to say, show me a great defense and I'll show you a defense where the back end and the front end work together. And that, to me, is exactly what I see with the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of love to the front end, but it really starts on the back end. You see Minkah Fitzpatrick right here. He's going to come and steal this little quick slant. He's going to make the quarterback hold the football. That's what they want you to do. Hesitate as a quarterback, and then you're lost because we are so good up front with our twists and our pass rushers. You're going to see it once again here. I'm going to try to get it to the outside guy. Nope. We're going to jump with leverage. We're going to play well. We're going to understand what we're seeing. Once again, quarterback hold the football a half a second longer than he wants to. We get another twist going, and we get pressure on the quarterback. We get a sack. So what I see from this Steelers defense is not just a front seven that can get after the passer. It's a back end that works with that front end to make that pressure rate so high.
And a really good pressure rate, that's a really great predictor for the playoffs, because obviously if you ever have to come back from a deficit, you can't.
For the second straight year, someone other than Drew Brees is going to get a start for the New Orleans Saints. Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0 when Brees is out last year. He's going to miss at least 3 games, James Palmer.
That's exactly right, Rich. And when you look at Taysom Hill, you see the guy who's a Swiss Army knife, can do it all. So when the news broke on Friday, everybody was wondering, why did Sean Payton make this call? From what I've gathered is they've always thought about him as a quarterback first before those other roles. And Payton in the past has thought of him as a Steve Young style of player. Now, they believe in the 3 years he has been here, he has a very, very good understanding of a passing system that's extremely complex. They love his leadership, they love his work ethic, and they love his intelligence. And all backup quarterbacks are in the room during the week with the starting quarterback. But Taysom Hill believes he has an advantage, Rich, because he's actually on the field with Drew Brees at times, sees him run this offense, sees his leadership. He believes that'll help him this afternoon against the Falcons.
Boy, just adding an intriguing aspect to a series that we have seen so much happen. And as a matter of fact, Taysom Hill back in last year against the Atlanta Falcons ran one in, threw one in, and blocked a punt. So don't tell the Falcons he's just a quarterback. and don't tell the Falcons, oh, yeah, you've heard about this Swiss Army knife thing? Yeah, they saw pretty much everything come out of that Army knife last year. Kurt, your first thoughts when you heard that Taysom Hill was getting the start over Jameis was what?
Surprise. I was really surprised by this. And really because of the nature of how they play offense in New Orleans. We all know about Drew Brees and how he dissects defenses and about reading the entire field, getting the ball out of his hands, making those quick decisions. So when you look at Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, you say to yourself, well, Jameis is the guy that really fits that mold or fits this offense better than Taysom Hill. And, you know, so it's going to be interesting. And the big question is, what will this offense look like? James was just talking about it. Will it look like the Drew Brees offense? Or does Sean Payton believe we can overhaul this offense and make it more of what we see from Taysom Hill on a weekly basis and more of a run style with play action and the gadgets that Michael was talking about? So I was very surprised they went with this decision. I'm interested to see if it is a full-time decision or Jameis finds his way into the lineup here and there depending on situations. But excited to see Taysom Hill. They went out and signed him to that 2-year, $21 million extension for this purpose because they believed he could be a starter.
Meanwhile, over in the AFC, the Ravens and Titans. Last time we saw these two, the Titans one and done. The Ravens as a 1 seed, which they were for the first time ever in their franchise history. Now, today, the rematch is the Titans maybe knocking the Ravens out of the wild card picture and swapping spots from the outside looking in, where we find Mike Garafolo in Baltimore.
Rich, some talk out of Tennessee this week about Derrick Henry's workload not quite being what it was earlier in the season, but those in the Titans organization saying it's right where it needs to be. And if you look, he is on pace for 357 carries. That would shatter last year's career high for him of 303. But offensive coordinator Arthur Smith saying last year Henry's workload naturally increased as the season went along. So read between the lines. This is the time of year where they are going to lean on Henry, particularly against a Ravens run defense that gave up 173 on the ground against the Patriots last week, with Patrick Queen, the rookie linebacker, struggling. Now, in January, Henry ran the ball 30 times against this Ravens defense, and he led them to a victory in that divisional round playoff game.
AFC divisional playoff game. The Titans are big underdogs. Jackson fires down the middle. Ball tipped and intercepted. Fired. Tannehill throws the fade. Is it inbounds? Yes! What a play! Fourth and short. Hit at the line, and he stopped. Tannehill looks for the home run ball.